Ever catch yourself prepping to share something you really care about, and it's like the pressure is on to get it right?
Trying to find the words, yeah.
That's kind of the vibe we're diving into today.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
So we're digging into this 1973 speech, and the title alone, Unsearchable Riches, it just grabs ya. It's by this leader, Rex D. Pinegar, from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Think like a pep talk for the soul aimed at members back then.
A spiritual call to action.
Exactly. So where are we headed with this deep dive? What are we hoping to uncover?
Well, we're going to see how this message, back in the 70s, got people fired up to share their faith. But what I think is even more interesting is seeing if any of it still clicks today. You know, how we share stuff we're passionate about, even if it's not like a whole religion thing.
Right. It's got to translate somehow. And Pinegar, he comes out swinging right from the start, quoting Ephesians, talking about the unsearchable riches of Christ. Like, if you want attention, biblical quotes, pretty solid opener.
It's smart, actually. Think about it. He's tapping into something we all get, that feeling of like, wow, this is big, life-changing even, but how do I even put it into words?
And he connects that straight to the challenge these church members had sharing their faith.
Exactly. He's using Paul's words to the Ephesians, who, by the way, were dealing with that same struggle, explaining Christ's teachings to people who are like super skeptical. So Pinegar's setting a high bar, but also saying, hey, it's doable.
No pressure, though, right? Chuckles.
Right.
But then he doubles down on this boldness and confidence thing, and it hit me that he's not messing around. Be passionate, be real, don't be shy about what you believe.
Exactly. This isn't just going through the motions. For a message to really land, you got to believe it.
And honestly, that's true, whether we're talking about faith, a new recipe, whatever. People can tell when you're genuine.
And Pinegar really lays it on thick about how important this is. He even says it's like helping the dead find salvation. That's how serious it is.
Whoa. Okay, now that's a comparison most of us probably wouldn't make.
It's definitely a powerful image.
Yeah.
Right? And to understand it, it helps to know a bit about Latter-day Saint beliefs.
Yeah, fill us in.
So they believe that baptisms can actually be performed for people who have already died.
So it's not just about the people you're trying to convert, like right now, but also having this impact that goes way beyond that.
You got it. They believe they can help those who have passed on to benefit from Christ's teachings.
Intense. But, okay, here's where it gets really interesting, at least for me. Pinegar doesn't stay in that heavy place for long. He shifts gears and starts talking about the unspeakable joys of sharing your beliefs.
It's really clever, actually. He balances that heaviness with this idea that sharing something you truly value is actually a joyful, uplifting experience.
Exactly. And he uses this example of a family, the Joneses, and they were putting their own family photo in copies of the Book of Mormon.
I love that story. And their personal testimony, too, right? Talk about personalizing your message.
It's so 70s, right? But it's brilliant. Like back then, that was their way of going viral. No social media, so you get creative.
Totally. And it underscores exactly what Pinegar keeps saying. Don't just hand someone a book. Make it mean something. Connect with them on a personal level.
Yeah, don't just retweet, add a comment. It shows you actually care.
100%. And he makes it clear this isn't a one-person job. He wants people to be actively working with the missionaries, not just expecting them to do all the heavy lifting.
It's a team effort. I like that.
Right. And speaking of different approaches, Pinegar tells a couple of stories that are pure gold. Like you couldn't make this stuff up.
Oh, I live for a good anecdote. Lay it on us. So what's this gold? What kind of stories did he use?
He talks about this dentist, right, converting patients left and right.
Okay. Hopefully not mid-procedure.
Right. You're getting your filling, and bam, gospel truth.
I can just picture those little pamphlets in the waiting room right next to the Highlights magazine.
Totally. But then he throws a curveball. He talks about this guy who shares his beliefs through this, get this, 10-page letter.
10 pages. Who even writes letters anymore?
And that's exactly Pinegar's point. He's showing that there are all these different ways to share what you believe in.
Okay, I see. So, like, the dentist is Mr. In-Your-Face faith, and the letter guy is more like taking his time, being thoughtful.
Exactly. Two totally different approaches, but both, in their own way, they get people interested, get them talking to the missionaries.
And isn't that, like, the end goal anyway? Start the conversation.
Right. Plant the seed. And here's what really stuck with me. Pinegar talks about how the letter writer, this guy, his own WN life had changed because of his faith. It wasn't just words on a page, he lived it.
Ugh, that's so powerful though, right? Like, anyone can talk a big game, but when you've actually walked the walk, that's convincing.
It's authentic. And people crave that. Even today, maybe especially today, so much feels fake. surface level.
So how do we apply this? Like right now, most of us aren't exactly mailing out novels in the name of, well, anything.
Thankfully, right. But Pinegar was onto something bigger. It's about finding what lights you up, what you truly believe in, and then, yeah, sharing that with the world in a way that feels real to you.
Not just preaching, but living it out loud, right? Letting your actions speak.
Exactly. He wanted people to be so rooted and grounded in love that it just like naturally flowed into everything they did.
That's such a great image. Rooted and grounded. It makes you think, what are we rooted in? What matters enough to share?
And how do we do it in a way that's genuine to us,
Yeah.
to our experiences?
What a great question to leave everyone with. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive. Until next time, keep searching for those unsearchable riches and maybe, just maybe, share them with someone.